So, hello, people. My name is Brandon.
My name's Trayvon.
My name's Alex. Yeah, today we're at Robinsford Hill. We're chilling over here. Beautiful little spot. I've spent a lot of time here. Have you?
Yeah, facts. Yeah, I've spent quite a lot of my childhood running up the hill, running down it, getting muddy.
Making
Oxygen,
fires.
fires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
very. Just some healing ceremonies, to be honest.
This is actually my first time at Robbinswood Hill, so that's very interesting to hear the stories and to have the experience that I'm having right now. Yeah, I'm excited though. I'm excited to explore more of this place and have more memories with you lot.
Yes, people, we're just going to run you through the survey and share some of our thoughts with you lot with regards to the questions. Hopefully, give you lot a better understanding of the questions and how to go through the survey. And yeah, see if there's any relation between what we think and what you guys think. And hopefully it can inspire you lot to fill out the survey and get involved. So yeah, we're going to jump straight into it in a moment. If you haven't got the link handy, search Strategic Local Plan and you can find the survey on the Gloucester City Council website. You follow a link to the SLP website, which is a strategiclocalplan.org. And then want to go to Cheltenham Borough, Gloucester City and Tewkesbury Borough Council strategic and local plan consultation is now open.
Second mission, I will be back.
It's cold, dog. It's shaking out here. We got 79 surveys filled out so far. Pretty decent. If you lot can bump that up to 150, we love that. Yeah. Yeah, so Trayvon, just for now, like tell me your opinion on Gloucester just quickly before we jump into.
I feel like Gloucester's changed quite a lot in the last few years. I don't know how many years I want to say. I want to say like across COVID through to now, everything like getting shaken. I'd say a lot more people have become motivated to put the city in a better place than it was in before COVID. And I feel like loads of opportunities that I didn't know would exist now, and it's giving people the ability to do things they might have never done before, including myself with organizations like the Music Works, Joe, even Guildhall. They didn't even know they existed, but we've got opportunity there. So yeah, I'd say overall, to put it into a few words, I say yeah, Gloucester's coming through with some nice devotion to developing the city. So yeah, man.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah. So my opinion definitely can agree with everything that Trayvon said. I think I love Gloucester personally. I'll say it time and time again now. I was you behind that camera that probably doesn't like Gloucester and thinks it's a bit rubbish and there's not much going on. But as soon as you open up yourself to the creative scene and start meeting different organizations, different people that are doing community work in the city, you'll really start to develop a newfound love for the place that you've grown up in and understand that there's so much potential in Gloucester that's bubbling. And we're going to be the generation and the ones that bring on that change. So it's very exciting. Get yourself involved as much, in as much as you can, like we're doing working with the council and whatever. Yeah, so I love it. I just feel like there's so much creativity coming through at the moment, and it's so good to see sharing that with everyone, raising each other up and helping each other. I just think Gloucester's gonna be an incredible place in the future. So yes,
Since I've come to Gloucester, I've seen nothing but potential for this place. The potential and also the determination to do great things. Meeting Alex for the first time was very interesting. Meeting Trayvon for the first time was very interesting. I've also met a lot of other great people. Shout out to Paris Season and everyone at Music Works as well. If we can start to just get it out there and what it is that we're trying to do, like this little podcast setting and what it is that we are trying to achieve, what our goal is, get more people on board would just be amazing.
Hopefully, you guys take some inspiration from the words of my friends here and do the survey and just give us some details on what we could do to just adapt Gloucester to suit everyone's needs, so people feel like they can engage more.
100%. All right, so yeah, we're gonna take you through the survey now. This is what it looks like. When you get to the front screen, you want to click on this page here, and it's gonna take you through to the survey. Won't take you long to fill it out, 10 minutes max. Guys, there's 2 weeks left. As you can see here, we got 2 weeks remaining. And then the deadline closes for you lot to have your say on the changes that are being discussed in this survey. So all you want to do is click take the survey, take you through to the first question, which is how can we make sure that growth helps and does not harm the climate and nature? When we're building houses, flats, roads, buildings for business activities, supermarkets, warehouses, etc., how would you like us to think in regards to climate and nature? I could probably speak for all of us here. we're big lovers of nature. You know, we really understand the importance of it. I would love to share that with other young people just quickly, but nature is a very powerful thing. Everything we eat, everything we do, everything we create from comes from nature, right?
From Mother Nature.
So it is very important, and we should preserve it where we can. So right now, like I said, we're at Robinswood. This is a beautiful nature reserve here, right? Look at the trees, even the view. You get such a good view of Gloucester here. Places like this are important to us, where we can come and connect with nature, feel grounded, release a lot of tension and energy, which is we feel like it's holding us back, and we definitely find benefit in it. So I just think considering parks, places, trees that attract wildlife, making sure that there's a diverse environment for wildlife to still exist, because I feel like it does bring people joy as well, like seeing different animals, or being able to just be in nature and quiet your mind when you need to, serves a much greater purpose than we might actually realize in it.
Behind where I live in Matson, there's a big rugby field, and there's now houses there. But there was so much like trees in that certain area that got cut down, and it was like, I know it was just a nice area to walk around, and they didn't really preserve much.
This question as well, just
cool.
be specific with your area, like where you're in, like what's very local to you, which you make use of or you enjoy being around, that you wouldn't want to see, a new estate or something. This is what this survey is about, having your say. So
I forgot.
Alright, Just fresh out of bed, Instead of taking nature out of the equation, just utilizing the already burned down places and just reconstructing them again. Imagine we turned them abandoned shops into offices.
I was gonna say, so it's talk about how can we make sure growth helps and does not harm the climate and nature. I feel like it's I just think by doing what we're doing now, just having a conversation about it, and just because I don't really have conversations about nature I do talk about nature a lot and how it like affects human like cognitive functions and things like that. But apart from that, I don't have conversations about how the actual local areas that we utilize from in our day-to-day life could be affected by people wanting to create new structures around that. So I think just by opening up the conversation and asking these questions and seeing what other people think, because I feel like I know what you think about it, but I don't know what she thinks or he thinks over there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just being able to like gather more and more perspectives, so we can really be like, okay, this certain areas utilized a lot. It's been spoken about a lot. For example, Gloucester Park, I know is used a lot, and if they were to build structures on it, people wouldn't be too happy
about it, yeah.
It's finding these structures, these environments, these areas that people really resonate with, really have like a heavy association with, and use quite frequently. Finding what those are through conversation, and then just preserving them. That's it, really. But yeah, that's my point.
And
yeah, just to quickly add to that, yes, I wanted to say this: incorporate nature into the building. Do you get what I'm saying? Make sure there's greenery in the indoor spaces, because like even things like having houseplants and stuff like this, it's been scientifically proven to improve cognitive function, like Trayvon said, to improve mood and stuff like this. So I'm seeing buildings pop up like on my Instagram feed and stuff of like where they've built some tall building, some tall building, and they've got like trees growing off the building and you seen stuff like this in like Switzerland. Yeah, so it's like incorporating it and also protect, like I said, the preservation. When I went to Mexico recently as well, the hotel that we stayed at, it was like imprinting our ideal onto nature. It was like they work around nature and they work with the shapes and the curves of nature. So it's like new architectural ways we could develop things where we're like really working with the shapes of the land and the natural environment. And like even Gloucester Services is an example.
That's actually a very good
building into the land, or making use of space where it was used for a certain site, but now we can transform it into this, like you're saying. But yeah, incorporating it, like just having greenery inside buildings and outside and around them, and just making sure that plants present, because they serve a high purpose. So.
High purpose.
Yeah. So then what's the next question?
So what services would you like to see where you live? Just thinking about what you do every day, what services would you like to see near your particular area?
Up my youth services, man. You get me? They locked off all the youth clubs. Yeah. COVID. Yo.
Even before them.
Is it? Before them times? This is what I'm saying. Like
growing up, I didn't.
No.
I remember that.
Not much, innit?
For my generation. I feel like,
me personally, because
I might not have been around it. So,
yeah, because I was in Matson, innit? So I had the Redwell Centre.
Redwell, cool.
Do you get me? They serve a high purpose, man, because I feel like I networked with kids that obviously at that age you're not really learning like loads about life. But I feel like the more perspectives you gain heightens your ability to perceive and understand yourself more.
Mm.
Being able to see like alternate perspectives through the same lens allows you to just develop the way to not only like see life but just solve your own issues and your own problems, because you start to learn how other people deal with their things, because everyone's going through stuff. And I feel like in a youth club it makes you get to have fun with the pain in a way. Like it's a good escape. It's a good escape in the sense that you go have fun, you go, enjoy your actual like interests with people that also share those similar interests, and you end up through doing those things that you resonate with each other. You end up just talking, and then filling building connections and like filling the voids within each other. Because I feel like before I found out about the Red Whale Centre, I was just like running on hills and just like just running around mats and just causing mischief, innit? But when I actually had like a place to go and be, and I knew it was, because when you're outside, you don't really know when you're about to have fun. You don't really know, but like in the
You
only
went to
thing
the
I
youth centre, right?
associated, yeah, like in the youth center, I only associated it with fun. So I could only go there and have fun. And then when you leave, I only felt better and higher and more like elevated. Do you get me? There was this van that used to go around Gloucester. Do you know? At least
You know a van that goes around called Play Gloucestershire, and they do like outdoor sports and activities for young people. And they're a van. They're just like a pop up van that's got loads of equipment and stuff in the back, and they'll just pull up in different locations and just do a an activity session for like 2 hours or something. So services like that are really good. Where I do youth work in Hodsmeade, they come and pop up there. But yeah, also just to add to the whole question of this mentoring, I feel like one-to-one mentoring is such a powerful thing that should be supported by the council and people where they can, to make sure those services are present. Like a bar gym, to be honest. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like an outdoor calisthenics bar gym is something that I would love to see. Business development support, more like actual life skill building services that are outside of like the conventional education system, or things that you don't necessarily get taught in education. So like cooking and eating properly and these things, and then you're learning about how to actually live life and connect with and actually sustain yourself as an individual or a family, or so even building skill, like learning how to build with things. And I know you can access this stuff through college and stuff like that, but I feel like there's pockets of people popping up now who are young, who have like us, who have got part-time work or are trying to create a business or something, but would still engage in a service in the evening that isn't directed for college kids or youth kids at youth clubs, like something where. So I just feel like our group would do shit like that, like I feel like our group would do stuff like go and help out on an allotment for like 2 hours at evening or something. So
Tutoring, but like cooking skills. Like imagine in local Matson area there was a one little, not a shop, but just a one little building or one little infrastructure where you go inside and you see Maddie, and Maddie's been cooking the last 20 years, and she's just there to teach young men and young women how to cook. You know what I mean? How to develop in cooking. You know what I mean? Just infrastructures like that. Because for me, growing up in Dublin, if it wasn't sports in school, or like you're in the football club, or you're doing some sort of um you were in that like particular area, there was nothing else outside of that. So just to see that there's more ideas being brought up in a place like this in Gloucester, I can just see there's nothing but it's gonna do nothing but benefit the community anyway, which is you, which is you, which is you, which is me. It's gonna do nothing but actually help you as an individual upgrade. And if you're upgrading and you're taking these things with you, you can go anywhere in the world and you can bring that with you. But all of it stems from a place like Gloucester, you know.
with the cooking thing, like building the structures and the allotments and all of these things, I feel like I did learn little bits in school, but I think the issue is people teach you, they don't teach you how they taught themselves. And I feel like when you can learn how to just learn the way someone else learned, then you don't always need that personal support. But being able to actually go into like lessons of mastery and learn how to learn for yourself is far more beneficial, just because like imagine growing up and then being able to know that, okay, this is how I've taught myself, now I can pass that knowledge on. And then it's going to enhance the community. Like if it starts here and we start teaching people how to teach ourselves, then they're going to teach more people how to do the same thing, and then it's going to have a enhancing effect on the whole community, people's kids, generations. Do you get me?
I just want to say as well, big up all the services and the CICs and everyone out there that are doing things like that with the allotments and the food, you know, and the cooking classes. Because I know they're out there and I know there's people doing it, and I've connected with them myself. So I'm grateful and
Shout out to you
you're
lot.
doing good work. Yeah. Next question, Brandon. Do you want to fire away?
What kind of housing is needed for you and local communities?
Might sound like a difficult question, but to make it a bit easier for you, like just think about, put yourself in the scenario of like you're leaving school, you're going in to start work, like you're leaving the education, you're wanting to begin work or start your career, and you want to get your first place, you want to move out of home. What would be the ideal type of place that you would move into? Would you enjoy living with other people with like shared accommodation, or would you want to have your own place which is affordable and cheap, or like a one bed flat, or a block of flats, or you know, a house? Just, you know, you can answer simply like this, or you can try and just expand on it a bit more and like, yeah, think about, yeah, if you need any other type of support around housing, how to budget
Yeah,
for your own
Yeah,
home,
yeah.
because
that's a
these
great
are
point.
skills you don't really get taught. Like, you'll need to do weekly shopping and
Yeah.
pay bills and do these things. So I guess this is related to this question, but like, if there's anything that the council and the other bodies can deliver which supports young people in that transition of moving out of home into their own place and the responsibilities that come with that, any type of service around that for me is something that would be great.
I think this question is great just to get you thinking in that caliber as well, or just thinking in that frame. Because, like you mentioned, when you're leaving school now, or you're just finishing off college, you're so focused on your career path or what's next for you that if you look at this question and you answer this survey, it just gets you thinking. You know what I mean? And if you take down notes, oh yeah, I'd like an apartment just to, I want to grind by myself. You want to get a one bedroom apartment, or you want to get a flat, work with a few mates. You know what I mean? It just has you now thinking of the idea and actually building your own idea that works best for you.
Affordable, affordable housing. First of all, better waiting list, because trying to get housing now is almost impossible.
I don't know. I just feel like people really do struggle with
Yeah.
hitting a certain threshold of income because they've got to like see months of previous earnings to say, okay, yeah, we'll accept you. Yeah. So it's just like, obviously there's these things to consider. I was gonna say, there's a place in Stroud, Hawkwood, that we went to the other day, right? They have this type of accommodation where it's basically like a college, but you can live there, you can stay there, but you engage in educational workshops and sessions on site where they're teaching you about growing or different skills, you know, developing different skills. But that's a type of accommodation, right? Like that's somewhere that you could go, you lot could go and inquire to go and stay there for a term or however long it is. Yeah. So there are things like that as well that are possible, and if you feel like it's relevant for your answer, then you can put stuff like that as well.
I had an idea. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's far fetched, but I was thinking like a shared accommodation where, because I've heard like with certain shared accommodations, there's not many like rules. I don't think there should be because you're just living, but then at the same time, I think people can get reckless with it and then become lazy and not maintain. Like how you were saying, like having lessons about how to keep up with the maintenance. I feel like having a shared accommodation where there's at least one or two people that are like observing and monitoring behavior, but then not only that, there should be like a free strike system in a sense that if you don't maintain these things, and obviously showing them how to maintain them, but then once they've been shown, if you don't maintain it, like you have to pay like maybe, I don't know, like £10, but it's like a little fine, but then that fine directly goes back into the maintenance of that property.
Yeah,
Do you get me?
great.
Rather than like just it's like a government fine and it's just go to the government, like it actually directly enhances that.
Just helps you out anyway.
Yeah, do you get me?
It's more of still living in that.
And it benefits the people that you might have just basically pulled down by like not doing what you should have done, type thing. Do you get me? And it motivates you to stay in a higher like a higher mindset, in a higher way of actually doing stuff. And now you have like an external motivation, motivating your internal world, innit? Do you get me?
The next question just says, what kind of job would you be looking for? Just answering the survey and you're putting it in. You're giving the government more to look at, because the power is in your hands when you answer this survey, right?
I feel like this one's a very personal one, if anything. Like
Yeah,
it's going to be very relevant to you specifically and kind of what you want to do as a career. Try and think about jobs that really serve the community as well. And like we're saying with mentoring and services like this, where we feel like there will be direct benefit to people. They're the type of jobs I want to see come in. For me personally as well, like growing space and stuff, I think that's really important. I think like these are skills that there should be more of in the community and focusing on developing those skills. But yeah, business, jobs, bringing to the area. I don't know. I'm struggling a little bit. But like I said, I think it's personal. Sorry, lady.
I was gonna say, Heath, I'm just gonna answer it personally. I see like jobs like marketing. I like marketing, and I like being creative. I like making music. I like dealing with food, planting, growing. But then I feel like saying that, I feel like there's not a lot of spaces. I feel like there's a lot of spaces actually where you can do growing. You can go be creative. There could be stages in certain areas, but there's not. Do you get
I
me?
was gonna add, like, I just feel like there's a lack of funding for these, and trust me, because I've been involved in these projects, and yeah, they go on, but they're struggling. Like they can't have people just paid to do these things. Like they struggle to make. So it's a lot of voluntary and stuff like that. It's not work. It's voluntary. So like making sure that these things are funded as well. There was something else I was gonna say. Taking inspiration from just like local spots that we like. The music works, flipping organizations like this that you might go and engage with and you enjoy. Think about that type of service or job or that type of employment as well and what that looks like. Your hobbies as well, like what are your hobbies and passions? Because I'm not gonna lie, that's that's where your purpose lies. Like it is that simple. So like really, as you grow into through the teenage years and into adulthood, like find the things that you enjoy doing, and if you can get paid to do them things, you're nice.
I was literally gonna say what you just said there. Like, if you could do what you, because I feel like my whole life, I'm 24 now, and like my whole life, I was like just trying to find any way to make money, doing like loads of different things. But until I actually accepted my actual passion, what I like doing, this is the time of my life I've made the most money. Do you get me? Like the most profit from actually doing something in general. So then I realized, I feel like when you do what inherently is you and you have fun with, you actually want to do it better because that's exactly how you see yourself being your highest version of yourself. And if that's who you see yourself as, then of course when you're in those moments when you get to do that, you're going to apply yourself fully.
Yes.
So if you can find out exactly what it is that you want to do, then 9 times out of 10 you're going to do it better than anyone would, because it's you're doing it in the way that is inherently it's inherently you, and you're going to do it in your own way and in the best way you can because it's what you love.
That's a great point. That's like, I feel like nowadays, although that was a very simple thing to say as well,
Yeah.
it's like most people that they can't be themselves. They don't know how to be themselves. But like that's due to like social media and all the technology and all of these other aspects that people look up to. They idolize certain things and then they start creating a certain persona and such. So like just to tailor that all back to that question of what kind of job would you be looking for. I love the way you mentioned the marketing and all that, Trayvon, because that's what I love to do as well. And I feel like since my time coming here, it's just being able to help the people in Gloucester and serve Gloucester as a way. That's been a thing for me, just to add my own personal thing in there. But
This question is interesting, you know. I like this question because, like, I don't want to talk on too much on your story, but I was just thinking, like, since you've come, the amount of projects that you've been on, and I'm thinking about how these projects directly feed back into the community.
Yeah.
So what I'm realizing is the more we actually do what we like to do and we apply ourselves to it, the opportunities almost come to us in a way.
They do, though.
And then when you start to actually do things that enhance your own community, I feel like things do become easier. Think about like you doing the marketing, I do music, you doing the food thing. It all links together because you can market and share his crap. For example, event idea on the spot. I could be at a show, like obviously like performing, and then you could be supplying food, and then you would be doing like the events, like in the sense that you're doing the reach, like the engagement, the promotion. Yeah, exactly. But do you see how we all have those skills on this table alone?
Yeah.
So then imagine actually having funding for more opportunities that want to do the things that feed back to the community, but then also feed our individual passions.
Mm. Yeah, well said. I was just gonna say like entrepreneurs as well, just supporting any type of entrepreneurialism, independent earning. I know this is something that we kind of strive for, but like I just feel like there's a lot of entrepreneurs popping up in the city in Gloucester for us. So like any ways those people or individuals can be supported, whether it be through like business support and business mentorship, or just it's not necessarily about bringing businesses or big corporations to the city, but let's raise up the people in the city who are trying to start a big business. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, and even just like supporting more like newer ways of earning, like podcasts. Something people are starting to make money from these type of careers. So it's just like, yeah, if there's ways in which we can facilitate people like that developing a career and being able to earn a living from making content and these things, which it's clear that a lot of young people have a passion for these days, I feel like we should support that. That's a big job. Yeah, it would benefit many different things going on in the city, wouldn't it? And it's just like we're all scratching each other's backs in. So
Next question now, because it's getting very personalized. I love that though. That's the whole point of this. Is how can we encourage businesses to your community or just to Gloucester? I said, imagine you're a business owner. What do you think we could do to encourage businesses or other organizations to base themselves in, for example, Cheltenham or Gloucester or Tewkesbury? It's more of just helping them entrepreneurs do more things to help Gloucester. That's what would bring more organizations here, because if you're putting Gloucester on the map and Gloucester is being shown as the bright star or the glowing star, before you know it now these organizations will want to come here. They have to not follow the trend, but if they're seeing that there's a trend to be followed.
we're doing it the other way around, rather than going out and trying to bring them in. It's like, I get what you're trying to say. Raising ourselves up is the better way to do it, because like it just attracting rather than chasing. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of thing. Definitely agree with that.
Make it easier to lease shops. Like there's so many shops. There's so many shops that are just empty in Eastgate Street, Southgate Street in town that are just not being utilized. And I know the amount of people I've spoken to that actually want to do business and open shops, and they're not even in the city. So I'm thinking people that come up from outside the city that are also trying to do that, they have to be struggling as well. So just make it easier to actually lease the buildings and make the agreements like a bit more easy to deal with, because I've heard it's a bit complicated with the council.
By getting them shops in Eastgate or Southgate more just open, by helping the entrepreneurs take them shops, and now they're starting to promote and put Gloucester on the map. Businesses, they have to come. Like it's just it literally is attracting than chasing. So that's very well said. And now to love that. To go on to the next question now, it says
The last question, to be honest.
that's good.
So these are the last two questions.
Last one here is, how can we improve our city, town, and village centres to evolve and to thrive? And it says, based on where you live or have lived, what do you think makes a city, town, or village a great place to live or to visit? You can include things that are not great as well.
No, I was just gonna say, look, there's a lot of funding in Gloucester, and I know you know who you are, innit? So because the whole issue with Gloucester has been people don't want to move, they don't want to do things to upgrade the city because they've already given up. But there's people that haven't, and there's people that see a lot of potential in the city. But how come those people aren't getting funding to make the change when there's funding in the city? So why don't we have a funneling system for the people? Okay, I understand that some people do just chat and they don't really do what they're going to say. But then if you know that, let's make a funneling system where we can actually find out the people that have real plans. Do you get me? Have a real blueprint, and they can show you that, explain that to you, and then have you invested in their goal, in their desired outcome, and then help them put that and bring it to fruition to then make the community more fruitful.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Can I just jump
Yeah,
in there,
see the
because
inspiration.
we're getting reckless now. Yeah, I love that you said the shots. It is about trusting us, but it's more of like you don't have a choice either. Do you get me? Like if you don't,
Their time's come and gone.
To get me.
The torch has to be passed on.
exactly, and it is about the torch being passed on, but realistically as well, to help improve these cities, towns, and village, we have to be trusted. But then also, it's about taking that bold step into knowing that there's no choice but to do this to help empower us to be able to make a positive change.
Very well said. I did send like some heavy shots. Like I don't want to pull it back and just a little bit, just a little bit, because it was hefty. I just wanted to say like shout out to the people that have been funding. Like I'm on an upsize development program with the Music Works that's been funding me and supporting my music career. So shout out to them and shout out to the people that are doing it. The cars chill out as well. Honestly, like shout out to people that are putting funding in the right areas. Even like what we're doing now is being funded. So shout out to the council. Honestly, very grateful. But yeah, just finding and inspiring more of the people that do have funding to put it in the right places.
I can speak to all of the things that you both have said, to be honest. What makes a village or a city great? I would say just like independent business, not having big corporations and big entities come in and dominate the economy in cities and stuff like that. I feel like raising up independent, authentic business, bro, there's nothing like experiencing a shop which one guy or one woman has ran for 40 years themselves, and it's an expression of them. Like you're walking into their own little world, and it's a very, very authentic experience, which I think just builds stronger connections within the city or within the village and town. So just things like that I think are really important. I think having lots of nature around, making sure there's lots of green spaces, making sure the funding's being put in the right places, definitely transparency with all of that stuff, honesty and transparency, and just like being kind. I'm not gonna lie, these are simple things, but I just think they're very important. Having the right principles, it's like giving to each other, helping each other out, like it goes a long way. So I don't know whether how people get to that place. I do know some ways, but meditation and breathing and these things. But yeah, just yeah, you just when you come alignment with your passions and your purposes, I feel like you said earlier, the heart just guides you, and you just you become a better person, and that really does trickle far into your community, and it does spread far. And I just think what you put out into the world, you get back. So helping everyone have a better understanding of these things will just help a community thrive.
You tie up everything that Alex just said, and I agree with it heavily. Just to say, like, I feel like what makes a community great is oneness.
Yes.
Is the connectivity of everyone. For example, I don't really like rock music or like I don't listen to it heavily, but I know people that make it and I support them because I know that they actually apply themselves and do it so heavily to the point where that's just them. It goes beyond the making money. It goes beyond doing it for clout. It's just them. And because I know it's just them authentically, it just makes me want to support them because I know what I'm doing is authentic to me. And I feel like it's that level of resonation with your community where if I know, okay, this organization is authentically doing that to boost this certain area of the community, that one, they all feed into each other now because we're all connected to the community. So it's oneness, just being connected, being able to share everyone's dreams and share your own dreams in connection with theirs. But it's all connection, everything connected. Leave it connected, please, please, please. Thank you.
Like it's taking that step to, for example, creating this video and just showing that by independently not taking over, but by not allowing the major corporations to come in and take over, like a small city like Gloucester, I feel like there's a lot of people here who want, a lot of young people here that want to start taking this initiative, that want to start a business or want to do all these things, but fear and all of these things come into play, which is, it's totally understandable, but it's more of being able to surpass all of these negative emotions to be able to take the leap. It's like taking a leap of faith, but you're taking a leap of faith in yourself. You know what I mean?
There's a second part to this question is just about adapting to the different people within the communities. So if you can think a little bit about that before, it says, based on the answer above, the answers that we've given, experiences growing up so far, what do we think we need to consider? Sorry, what do we need to think about so that places and communities can change and adapt with the people who live in them? Us, essentially. So think a little bit about that. I was just going to say, showcasing the city and what's good in the city rather than focusing on the negatives all the time. I feel like something goes left or bad with youth in the city, that's what's spoke about, and all of the good things that are going on are hardly championed. And yeah, so obviously there are people that are doing it and we're trying to do it ourselves, but events, times where people can come out in the city and see for themselves all the amazing things that go on there, all the amazing people that are doing bits and bobs, running their own projects, running their own businesses. It's inspiring and motivating for like us as young people or whoever, or even elders to go to these events and think, yeah,
I'm
man,
actually doing something.
yeah,
so
I
much
feel I
happening.
can, yeah. So it's like even that cross generational connection is super powerful too, super powerful.
We're all humans. We're all gonna have like our own innate desires that we connect to. But I think understanding like at the basis, strip everything back, strip all the goals, the desires, everything that we want in the community, like we're all humans. So naturally we're all connected. And I think because of that, just support each other. Like I feel like the issue really is like all these organizations are separate, but if we're all operating in the community, we might as well be able to recognize one another for what we're trying to do and actually make those direct links and be able to promote people when they need to be promoted when their events are coming up.
Just signposting as well. Like if you're an organization that knows another project or another organization that's suitable for an individual in front of you who's got a problem, just send them that way and help each other out. And like we're saying, yeah, that's
Honestly, what he's just said 100 times.
That was amazing, lads. Yeah. So that's the end of the survey now as well. That was just our take on the survey, and
give our opinion. I think of just how that went, but I think that was really cool actually. I didn't think we were gonna go in the depth that we did. Well, I'm not gonna lie, we took it deep, but I really hope everyone that watched this really got what we were saying and understands where we're coming from and the perspectives that we've given. We're three young people from Gloucester who are either here now. Obviously, Brandon's from Dublin, but obviously me and Trayvon have grown up in Gloucester, lived there our whole lives. So these are just three different, unique perspectives of the place as well, but obviously very relatable too. And yeah, we really hope this helps you understand the survey, feel inspired to fill it out as best as you can and share it and get involved. And yeah, thank you for watching. We appreciate you.
I was gonna say, just to kind of sum it up in the most holistic manner I can, as long as you've lived the life, you've got something to say. And if you've lived life in Gloucester, you've definitely got something to say. So my point on this is because even before I started doing it just now, I was thinking in my head like I'm not really gonna have too much to say, so I don't really think about these questions. And I'm sure you probably, whoever's looking behind the camera, you probably don't either. You probably didn't think that either. But like for me, doing it now and seeing how I opened up and like did just speak authentically, I feel like just trust yourself. When you're doing the survey, trust that your ideas and the way that you think, any perspective is a perspective, and a perspective helps you see deeper and gain more insight. I'm sure you've learned things that you didn't know today through what we've been saying. So just trust yourself. Yeah.
Just to add, yeah, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, that's it. You got it. It's basically it's something for like, because you could be with the mindset right now of done this, I don't want to do this, like I can't be bothered to do it. But even if you're not doing it for the council, do it for yourself, because like you were just saying, you've understood more about yourself from just speaking about this openly, and you've realized more about what you want and what you want to do and what feels right for you and how you want to serve your community. So just like, yeah, I just think do it for yourself as well, because trust me, you're putting intentions out when you're writing this, you're putting ideas out, you're in your creative self where you're like dreaming of what you could be or what your reality could be and where you want to go with life. So like, yeah, even just filling this out for us, it's helped us expand our imagination and just get that much more on point with what it is we want to do in life. So.
No, that's beautiful. Bro. That's beautiful.
very well said. And just to end it off on one last point, it's just take action. Like them two words, just take action, take action, take action. I feel like you could watch this and you could have understood us, but if you're just gonna go click on the next video now and do these next things and forget to actually take your own initiative to help yourself, this was pointless. But like that's what I'm trying to say. It's just take action, please take action.
Actually, no, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. Podcast soon come. So if you want us to do a podcast, obviously shout us. Yeah. Thank you. But, yeah. Love you guys. Stay blessed. Hit me. Wow.